Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the third podcast, or as Wolfclaw pointed out, welcome to talking about Fallout 76 Episode 3. Yeah. This is the 1 hour news, not news podcast that I'm making about various things that are important to the gaming community and our community in general, and we're probably going to be starting with Fallout 76 because at the moment, how can you not start with Fallout 76? I mean, it's the gift that keeps on giving. If you redefine gift to mean something quite horrible, I suppose. Now, I'm not totally sure what else has happened this week in Fallout 76 news, but I did hear, and I did find this amusing, I must admit, that Australia has ruled that the Australian people have the right to demand a refund for Fallout 76. It's that bad. Fallout 76 is that bad. The government of Australia have actually weighed in and said, no, you really need to give people their money back. I mean, I just want you to just consider the implications of that. Australia. We're talking about Australia. Australia has said you have to give a refund. This is the country that has more things that want to kill you than any other country on the planet. This place is so inhospitable to human life. I cannot believe we settled there. It has sharks, it has crocodiles. Even the cute and cuddly things want to murder you. Australia it's got enough venom to kill the entire planet 5,926 times over. It has kangaroos, for crying out loud. Australia. And Fallout 76 was the line they drew. They just said, look, we can take all the rest, but that game, no, sorry, we're saying enough is enough. Enough is enough. We can handle the poison spiders, we can handle the scorpions, we can handle the crocodiles and the sharks and everything else. We can handle the weather, we can handle the fact that we're a gazillion miles from the rest of civilization, but we can't handle Fallout 76. Give them the money back. You mean you could not write this stuff, could you? You could not come up with a story as just bizarre as Fallout 76 at this point. That's a shot at your country, not Bethesda, said Quarico. And? Yes, Quarico. You guys will put up with anything, but apparently not Fallout 76. I did find that monstrously amusing. I did also find out that apparently they're having a bit of a hacking problem with Battle Royale. They're getting a lot of hackers and cheaters, and Bethesda are not springing to action and dealing with it quickly. I don't know how true that is or not, although it rings a little true. The thing that did amuse me is I was listening to someone else's video, someone who actually plays it. I think it was Juicehead, and he mentioned the fact that there is now a reward for an event going on that used to be on the Creation Club for Fallout 4. It was last year's Halloween Creation Club release or something. I cannot confirm that because I've just heard about it while I was coming back from the gym getting ready for this, and I was like, oh god, that can't be true. But I sort of suspect it probably is. And wouldn't be too surprised if they'd taken some stuff from the Creation Club on Fallout 4 and just moved it to the Atom Market or as a reward for one of the events. So I thought that was slightly amusing. I don't know if it's true, but I kind of hope it is, because then I get to be very, very smug. I get to go, told you. All those people are like, I'll bet you they're going to bring the Creation Club to Fallout 76. And I've been screaming, they already have. If this is true, this would just highlight that perfectly. Like the content from the Creation Club making its way to, say, the Atom Market or rewards in Fallout 76. Just, I don't know, there's something about that just makes me like smile. I realise what's happening here. Is I'm beginning to take pleasure in the insanity of this game, and I hate that. I always try to stay dispassionate and logical and rational, but I can't at this point. It's just sort of like... Although I am waiting, if this turns out to be true, if the Creation Club content has made it to Fallout 76, I can't wait for people to try and say, see, they did bring mod support to Fallout 76. No, I'm not. I am not being this petty. I am not laughing at that. No, I'm not. Was there anything else with the Fallout 76 thing that I missed for this week? Or are you just all going to talk about the fact that I came back from the gym? I went to the gym. I go to the gym. I like to go to the gym. I'm 50. I'm not dead yet. Can we move on and focus on something important? He says, realizing we're talking about Fallout 76. But I think that was it for Fallout 76. I think that is it for the Fallout 76 o'clock news. All the news that makes you want to kick Bethesda in the pants. So, other news this week. I heard that the BlizzCon went on. I didn't hear many explosions from it. I don't mean that literally, but, I didn't hear many people reporting that it was really bad. I heard there was a very bad apology given. But the biggest pieces of news that I heard from BlizzCon was actually Diablo 4 had been released, which I'm reliably told is good news for Diablo fans. And also Overwatch 2, which I'm being reliably informed is... what? Why? I think. I'm paraphrasing, obviously, but that was basically what I was sort of getting. I was getting this sort of vibe of the way I just... whoa, why do we need a second Overwatch sort of thing? Although the obvious answer is because then it resets everybody's skins and they sell more loot boxes. So, yeah. But apparently that was news. I was expecting way more Blizzard news this week. I really was expecting to hear a ton of things, but I didn't hear much, really. It was bit of a letdown for anyone who was hoping for supreme quantities of drama. So, it was actually gaming news. Go figure. Sorry, I'm listening to some screaming going on outside my door. My kids are having fun. Their uncle's visiting, so probably making his life miserable. The other piece of news. Red Dead Redemption was released on PC to much fanfare, and apparently it's had a bit of a rocky launch. Performance issues, bugs, etc. So it would seem that the fact that I'm too busy playing The Outer Worlds to play Red Dead Redemption 2 right now is probably good news. So maybe in a few months they will have patched all the problems out and I will be able to play it, you see? So, lots of people can play it, lots of people can't. That's, yeah. You know him. You know my luck on that one. I'll be one of the ones that can't. But it doesn't matter because it means I can wait until it's been patched. Is it going well, though? People who have got it running without problems, is it a lot better on PC than it is on console? I'm assuming the answer to that is, yeah, of course. But, I've not seen any sort of PC port reports. That's your plan. Definitely a good idea to wait. Everyone seems to be agreeing. This is this isn't a news show. This is a give advice to Gopher on what to play show. It punishes even high-end systems. Okay. Moving on to the Outer Worlds news then, mostly because that's the game I am currently playing. I can tell you now that I'm reasonably far into the playthrough, and not reasonably far into it, I guess. Far enough into it that I can tell you I've definitely overcome the issues with the eye strain. I turned the settings down to medium, the screen effect settings down to medium, and I disabled an awful lot of them in the INI file as well. So I'm having no problems now, and I began to enjoy the game more. I began to be able to relax. I began to be able to loot and look around without it making me feel bad. And, you know, the game is definitely improved because of that. Big surprise, really, isn't it? You don't feel nausea, you don't feel pain in the eyes and head, and you're enjoying it more? How strange. So, yeah. I'm going to give my thoughts on the Outer World another time. What I can tell you is I'm enjoying it. I am enjoying it. I've seen a lot of people raving about it like it's the second coming, and what I will say is it's a very solid game, but it's a very solid game that could have been released 10 years ago. There's nothing really spectacular about the in-game mechanics. There's no amazing combat system. It's all right. The world is pretty good. The AI seems a little stiff, a little daft, both in combat and out of it. You know, the enemies seem a little daft, and your companions seem even dafter. So, but I've also noticed that, you know, the towns and the people in the towns don't seem to have much of a routine or a life compared to a lot of the games we're used to. So honestly, for me, it feels like a game that was released, say, 10 years ago, maybe a little longer. However, the dialogue is phenomenal. The dialogue and the writing is phenomenal. So this is the sort of game where I would say, yeah, this is like an almost stereotypical RPG from maybe 10 or 15 years ago. Looks a little nicer, but beyond that, not much else. It's got the depth of writing that we used to expect from games back in those days, but obviously it also has voice acting for all the NPCs, which may not have been as common in those days, and it shows. There's a lot of dialogue. When I'm going back through the footage, I am finding there are some conversations that go on for 15 minutes, 20 minutes. There's a lot of this. There's a lot of little notes you can find in terminals that have very interesting stories, and they're very well written. But overall, the dialogue is it's really good. It's humorous, but not overly so. It's a little dark. It's thought-provoking, sometimes shocking. And generally, I'm enjoying the dialogue thoroughly. And that is absolutely its strongest point. And to be honest, it's enough for me to say it's a brilliant game. So whilst I feel like there's a lot of hype going on about the Outer Worlds because it's not a Bethesda game, and I'm going to say it, I think a lot of people wanted to love it because it wasn't, you know, a Bethesda game, and so people are sort of raving about it all round, but I'm going to say I'm probably going to rave about it purely because of the dialogue, purely because of the writing. I'm really enjoying it. I mean, everything else is relatively bog basic. Even the quest structures and things, everything, the areas are pretty basic. There's nothing about the game that pops out as ultra amazing, except the dialogue, the writing, the characters, and the voice acting. I love the voice acting. I think they've done a really, really good job. So, yeah. I am enjoying it. I will give a more detailed review, obviously, and it's one of those games I'm going to highly recommend. It is a superb role-playing game. It is a superb role-playing game, and it deserves a lot of praise. I'm at the moment a little unsure how much of the praise is because the writing is so superb, which it is, and how much is because, well, it's not a Bethesda game. And in fact, actually, because it's not doing what a lot of other games do. It's not gone in that direction. It's not oversimplified. They've gone for the voiceless protagonist. They've gone for a lot of dialogue. They've gone for dialogue that has different options based upon the skills and stats you have. It has dialogue that shifts when you choose something. So, for example, usually if you're playing something like Skyrim, you can take one bit of dialogue knowing that you'll probably be able to go and take every other piece of dialogue, because every single piece of dialogue sort of doesn't depend on other things, usually. Outer Worlds, you can't rely on that. Sometimes you can pick an option and 4 or 5 other questions that you might have asked will just disappear. So you've got to be a bit more careful about what you say, and I love that, because it feels more like a conversation then, rather than just going through a list of responses. So, generally speaking, Outer World it's a very solid game that doesn't do anything unusual, and it just does really good dialogue. But it's weird, isn't it, that that's almost something to be celebrated nowadays. It's done something that I would consider almost normal. It's made a very normal RPG that is very enjoyable if you are an RPG fan, and it's not done much wrong. And it's amazing how saying that is one of the highest accolades. It's done nothing wrong, and it's done lots of things right. That should be something we're saying about far more games. It really, really, really should. Companions increasing your skills with theirs and your carry weight is a good little innovation. Yeah, maybe. I'm not sure how I feel about them boosting your skills and your carry weight versus them having their own life. There is an argument to be made, it's better if I could turn around to them and actually have them do the engineering thing. For example, if there's an engineering dialogue and I don't have the engineering skill, maybe there should actually be something that lets me turn to Parvati and say, hey, do you know the answer to this? And she can answer it for me. And that would have been kind of cool as well. So, you know, there are pros and cons to the approach they've had. It's the same as the inventory. I can see the streamline advantage to having a joint inventory with your companions. It does make inventory management less, you know, finicky, less macro-managey. So I see the advantage of it. I'm not totally sure how I feel about it at the moment. I probably will approve once I've gotten used to the idea. So yeah, I mean, I'm not saying it doesn't innovate anything, but it's not broken any massive new grounds, unless you count releasing a full-price game with no shenanigans, no microtransactions, no day one DLC, to be, you know, groundbreaking, which I do realise for a lot of companies now it might seem that way. But yeah, so very, very good game. Enjoying it. We're going to continue playing it, obviously. Yes, that's revolutionary. Okay, so we're moving on to modding news, are we? All right, because TullX has said that KCD modding tools look good. They've released 2 tutorials so far. Right, I mean, I will admit I did intend to go and have a look at them, but I've been sort of, you know, busy with the Outer Worlds and so on, so I'm still behind on that. I've also been releasing a few other videos and working on some other stuff that I will talk about towards the end of this stream. But I'm glad they're looking good, and I'm glad they're releasing tutorials for KCD. I am very curious as to what sort of mods we will get and how much it will change, whether or not it could actually be worth doing a 3rd playthrough, because I've done 2 playthroughs of that game. So, but a modded playthrough, that could be interesting. I am very, very interested in that. I, of course, released a video today where I reviewed the Fallout California mod. That is the New Vegas Mod Clinic 27. I had to think about that for a second. We're not talking about mods now. We're not talking about mods. There was at least 3 comments on how he didn't know about the helmet toggle options in the settings menu. On what? I know about the helmet toggle option. What, in the settings? The one that hides the helmet? Yeah, there's one for the player and there's one for the NPCs. I knew about that before before I started playing. Oh, you know, but the comment section didn't know. Oh, okay, right. No, okay. Oh, right. Okay. So, all right. We've moved on from modding news then, and we're now on to YouTube comments news. Yeah, I'm not reading the comments on the Outer Worlds, but apparently, according to some of my moderators, including Quorico, mostly they're supposed to be mostly positive, but there are a few. There are a few comments that are driving them nuts. I feel sorry for them. I've got them checking to make sure there's no actual really major problems, and they're the ones that are having to absorb all of this. My guess, the comments are also things like he's going too slow, and also rushing, and missing everything, as well as things like that, right? Probably. Unfortunately, I did catch one comment that did irk me, and I was telling Quorico about it. When I log into YouTube and go to the main page where I do all the management, I can't remember what it's called, Creator Studio or something now. It shows me all the videos and that sort of stuff, but it also has a list of all the latest comments on the right-hand side. And it's an easy way to see all the latest comments. And I glanced across. The big problem with it is you can't see which video it's part of until you really look at the small writing at the bottom. And it was like a habit. I read one of the latest comments, and was like, what? And it was like, and then I looked at it and thought, oh, that's the Outer Worlds. Don't want to be reading comments like that. But I did think to myself, yeah. It was actually somebody saying something along the lines of, oh my God, Gopher's so stupid. I need to go on the forums and send a message to him to get feedback to him because he won't come here. It's like, you may have missed the entire point of me not reading the comments if you're trying to find a way to bypass me not reading the comments. Monty sounds exactly like Leonard. That's probably because it's me on both of them. I know, shocking news, but I play both Monty and Leonard. Yeah. It's not like the stalker comments section used to be. Well, that's a relief. That is a relief. So is it all comments about the helmets? Is it all comments about the helmet? Oh, this is right. It's because I'm complaining about Parvati's helmet. Yeah. All right. Well, this is a minor spoiler. Put your fingers in your ears and count to 30. This is a minor spoiler. I do eventually end up using that setting because I could not find a way of removing the helmet, and I couldn't find a hat that I liked on her. So I ended up using it. I did remove the helmet and put on a hat that didn't give her any benefit because I don't like to get the benefits of a helmet, but with none of the downsides. It always feels a little. So I did end up using it. There you go. Spoiler alert. Spoiler over. It's mostly comments about you skipping NPCs. What do you mean skipping NPCs? How do you skip an NPC? How do you skip an NPC? I don't skip dialogue. I'm not one of these people who presses the skip button so I don't hear them. You walk past them. Well, yeah, you walk past NPCs like all the time in games like this. What are you supposed to do? Never walk past an NPC? Not talking to... I talk to loads of NPCs. Loads of named NPCs. I think I end up speaking to all of them. I mean... do you know what? This is definitely getting into weird spoiler territory here. I don't want to tell you what I'm going to do, but like... I know episode 3 had a lot of fighting. I think episode 3 had a lot of fighting. And there are some episodes where there's quite a lot of stuff. But I would tell you now, the first 15, 16, 17 episodes are like the vast majority of it is talking. It's just talking and reading things. So you must talk to every NPC as you find them. Oh, like that. Oh, I'm not doing everything in the right order. We're on to YouTube. We're on to the YouTube section of this. We pretty much skipped the mod section and went straight to YouTube thing. So I'm doing it in the wrong order. I'm not following the correct script. I'm supposed to go to NPC 1, then NPC 2, then NPC 3. Got it. Right. Backseat gaming. All right, okay, right. That's fair enough. But I'm told that the vast majority of the comments are positive. I think the problem here is because poor Quorico has taken over my role as moderating. She's not used to going through as many of the comments where it's like, "You missed that. I can't believe you missed that. What were you thinking? I can't believe you don't know how to open a door." I do know how to open a door. You didn't open that door. Right. Didn't want to open that door. That sort of thing, right? She's had to deal with that sort of thing. Whereas now I think my brain's got to this point where I'm just like, right. Yeah, so Quorico doesn't normally go through every comment, and she is now because she feels obliged to because I'm not checking it. To be honest with you, Quorico, I think I'm getting to the point now where I'm far enough ahead I can probably start engaging with the comments. I'm assuming the spoilers are not like... Here's the thing. I'm not trying to avoid end game spoilers where someone will say, "Oh, the plot twist is yada, yada, yada." Because someone could post that on any of my videos at any time. It's more the sort of people who want to be helpful and don't realise that I don't really want them to be helpful. The people who say, "Oh, no, go to this counter and look on a shelf and then jump up 3 feet and then twiddle to the left and you'll see a button," sort of thing. And they think they're being helpful when what they're actually doing is kind of ruining the game for me because I want to find that button all by myself. And if it means every now and again I'm going to miss this button and not find whatever that button did in my playthrough, so be it. I would rather find 70% of the things and miss 30% than have 100% of them just given to me on a platter. Because that 70% that I found, I did. I played it. And it's sort of like, this is possibly an old school thing. This is possibly one of those things that's just how we used to play games. Because there was no internet. There were these things called like Prima guides or something that eventually came out, but I never ever would have dreamt of buying one. And usually what would happen is you'd finish the game and someone would go, "Did you find such and such a thing?" And you go, "What? No, I didn't." And then you've kind of got a reason to go back and play it. Car 3 Zone said, "Then you have to not do what they say just to spite or be obstinate." Well, sometimes if people actually give me warnings about what's coming, I sometimes have to not do what they say. Not because I'm... not for spite or to be obstinate, but because I honestly don't know whether it's something I would have done. And then I get into this case of like... You know, I feel like it's not my playthrough. So what I end up having to try and do is predict, would I have figured out what they'd said to me? And if I'm in any doubt, do avoid it. Because then at least I can sort of... I don't feel like I've cheated, if that makes sense. It's a really weird one to describe. So... It's more a matter of that. It's more a matter of that if I do take that advice, I sometimes feel on my first playthrough anyway, I feel like I didn't earn it. I just don't feel like I earned it. And I hate that feeling. I can't stand that feeling. Oh, I don't have sound on at my end. I'm sorry. Is that Thomas CT resubbing? I need sound put on mine. Do I benefit from you finishing adverts that are aired? Yes. If you watch the entire advert, don't skip it, I get get paid for the advert. If you skip it, I don't. Basically. However, if you decide to skip the advert because you just can't be doing with that, I totally understand. I'm not going to resent you for doing that because I understand. I mean, it's why I ended up getting premium membership. Because premium membership allows me to have no adverts whatsoever and still support the creators that I watch. So, yeah, YouTube Premium. All right, then. So we've done game news, we've done mod news, we've done YouTube comments and stuff news. Let's move on to other news. No, we will not be talking about Australia more. Other news. We're releasing the Christmas merchandise sometime soon, very soon. It's technically, a lot of it's already been released on the store. I've released a new Christmas line. A Christmas line. Involving everyone's favourite sweet roll thief. So there is a new Christmas t-shirt. So yeah, I will try and show you in a second. I will try and show you. But the idea is, not only is there going to be Christmas merchandise, we're re-releasing all of the previous merchandise. So if you missed the chance to get the I Don't Need a Personality, I've Got a Shotgun t-shirt, you will now be able to get it. It will now be on sale until Christmas. Right. So yeah, the meme shirt never disappeared. We've still got legendary facepalm. I'm not taking any of those away, including make more of this thing. But these will all disappear after Christmas. But we now have, yes, I stole your sweet roll, the shotgun, have a bill, Happy Saturalia, and the new one, the Leonard that stole Christmas. That is the new one. Currently shown here in sort of lemon sand yellow. You can pick whatever colour you want, obviously. And because of the way the store works now, you can actually choose to have premium pullover hoodie, for example, or the mug. And, choose whatever colour you want. If you want it in pink, you can have it in pink. So, that is basically the merchandise news. There will be there will be two other items appearing. One is the Remember As Always to Have Fun t-shirt. That was one of the first t-shirts we released, but I've not quite finished making it. I don't have the original design, and basically what I've decided to do is remake it, and this time make it with the new graphic, the new thumbs up graphic with the new Steve one. So I'm going to remake that one. So it's going to be a Have Fun Deluxe t-shirt. That's going to come. And there will also be a super secret silly Christmas merchandise thing, which you'll see when I finally put it up. So that's going to be a thing. Be like a little Christmas surprise. I will make a full video announcing the merchandise. Probably release it this weekend. I have a pink Steve mug. Part of the super secret one is Quarico's favourite. Yeah, I made something silly and Quarico laughed, so we decided to put it on a t-shirt. Yeah, so if you missed any of that merchandise, you will be able to get it. I'm actually going to be ordering some more because some of mine have faded. Like, I've got two of the shotgun ones. My favourite is the light green version of it, but it's like so faded now that I need a new one. I definitely need a new one. So I'm going to order some more mugs as well, although I don't know where we're going to put them. I really, really do not know. I am thinking about expanding the merchandise options, maybe adding a few things, although most of my designs wouldn't work for things like socks or, leggings, that type of thing. Look really, really, really odd to have Steve's face on your backside. Little weird, but there you go. Sell some shot glasses. That'd be kind of cool, wouldn't it, actually? What I really would like is a whiskey flask with Jack on the front. That would be cool. For you know, all sorts of probably not very good reasons. Although there's a little side of me thinks we should be able to have that on a line of shotguns. Pretty sure Teespring are not going to be okay with that. Especially with, yeah, you know what? I've decided actually having an actual shotgun with the words, I don't need a personality, I've got a shotgun on it, probably pushing it just a little more than I should. We've done news. We've done modding news that really got derailed pretty much into YouTube and YouTube comment news. And we've done merch news. Is there any other business, or are we going to be able to finish early? Are we actually going to be able to finish early? Because that would be kind of cool. Disco Elysium. Will I be playing that RPG? I don't know. If it's good, I'll put it on the list after what? Red Dead Redemption, Greedfall, and all of the other games that I'm supposed to be playing. Any plans on merch collaboration with Smart Blue Cat? Yeah, that would be kind of amusing, actually. Jim Sterling says it's better than excellent. Okay. Probably is good then. How about a car sticker for a passenger seat in front? Dear oh dear. So yeah, well, I'm open to play any game that is very good. But if you mean a let's play, that's going to very much depend on time, obviously. Disco Elysium looks perfect for me. Unfortunately, the list of games that look perfect for me is a lot longer than the list of games I could ever get around to playing. However, I think, like, for example, I'd love to replay Mass Effect again. I do want to play Bioshock, even though I've not played those three. I think I would probably prioritize Red Dead Redemption 2, Greedfall, and this new one probably. Like, new ones, I would probably prioritize them. So yeah, the list is ridiculously big, as Wolfclaw said. So, you know, there's a ton of really good games. You wouldn't believe it listening to people on the internet, but there's a ton of good games I want to play. I still haven't played that one where is it a girl looking after a little boy and with all the rats and everything, the Plague Tale. I've not even looked at that. Everyone told me that's a good game I should play. So it's going to be a long time before most of those games make it to my channel, and probably most of them won't. You were gifted that, you should play it. Yes, you should. You should absolutely play it. But yeah, Plague Tale, that was what it was called, wasn't it? Right. So, as Wolfclaw says, the answer to will you play X is if you have time and that game is not called WoW. To answer Quaraco's question as well. I don't have time to play WoW, Quaraco, and it's Blizzard. You know. It's Blizzard. WoW takes all the time. Dalamarian, what you are describing is what happens on my GophersVidsLive channel. I have another channel, GophersVidsLive, and what I tend to do is upload stuff that I've played live on Twitch to that channel with very little editing. There's usually some editing. I can't not edit things. I found I end up having to. So it does still take time. It still does take a little time, unfortunately. The only way to do it without any time would be to just tell Twitch to upload it in one chunk So it'd be like a 3-hour chunk, and you'd get all of the breaks, and you'd get all of the 20-minute intro. You wouldn't get just the gameplay. So he usually edits out the best parts, the rants. That is also true. I edited out the rants, but that's kind of the reason for these. If there's something I need to rant about, I can rant about them in these podcasts, you see. Therefore, we can leave gameplay to gameplay. But right now, over on GophersVidsLive, you will find a Fallout 4 playthrough. Unfortunately, it is virtual reality, so it's about as watchable as a camera that's been thrown into the air while spinning, in my opinion. But some people seem to like it. It's great to play, though. Fallout 4 in VR is absolutely brilliant. So you can also catch the VODs on Twitch, which are, of course, completely unedited, and you get the full thing. I've got a Forest series ongoing that is with Che, Cheification. That is on like almost 100 episodes now, so that is going on. And of course, there is Divinity Original Sin. We stream that almost every Sunday, and I upload that to the channel as well. Skygerfall, I've got 2 streams of that recorded. I will try and upload it to the channel at some point. I've not deleted the footage, and I am going to probably play more Skygerfall once I've got the time to do so. So, but yeah, if you do want more stuff, more Gopher videos, that is the channel to subscribe to. You'll get a lot of unedited, more unscripted gameplay with me talking to people in the chat as well. So definitely a very different material to the Let's Play. Can't have enough Gopher. Technically, apparently you can. One of the things that I'm probably going to have to announce some point in the future is I've already done it. I've already reduced from 6 episodes a week to 5 episodes a week on the channel for the Let's Plays, and it's probably going down to 4 episodes, and it might go down to a single game at a time. And there is a reason for this. I had to go down to 1 game at a time, 4 episodes a week, while I was on a break between Fallout New California and Outer Worlds. So I ended up going to 4 episodes of Skyrim, and my views per week went up. And this is something I sort of suspected. And it's nothing to do with the viewers and everything to do with YouTube, unfortunately. It would seem the sweet spot on YouTube videos, especially ones that are similar, so like Let's Plays, is 3 a week or like 3 a day. The way they do the algorithm is kind of annoying. It's best to not have 2 videos that are similar uploaded in one day after the next. You should have a day's gap, which is why 3 is the best. I don't think I can go down to 3, so it'll be 4. And right now it's 5. So, oddly enough, it's backed up by the numbers. And what I have noticed is when I'm running 2 games at once, what happens is people choose one game or the other to watch. Some people watch both, but the vast majority think, I don't have time to watch 6 episodes a week, I'll just watch one, and they pick one. That seems to be what is happening. And I will tell you, for a while now, I've wanted to go back to 1 game only. And that is really because of the way I end up having to record. I will have to do this very quickly because we only have 5 minutes. The problem with running 2 games is I do not want to play 2 games at once because they do interfere with each other. Most people don't realise this, but if you play something like Skyrim and Kingdom Come Deliverance, or even Skyrim and Fallout, there are times when the mechanics will interfere with each other. So you stop, you get into the habit of doing one thing and then switch to another game, and you keep wanting to do that one thing that's not doing anything now. It's even worse for a Let's Player because you're trying to stay in character. So, you know, when you're trying to be Leonard the Vicious, and at the same time, you know, a day later you're trying to be Henry the Nice, it can sometimes get a little, it can be a little hard. It's one of those things that sort of becomes a little harder. But also, because of the way I record, it might mean that, all right, I'm a little behind on Skyrim. I better play Skyrim all week. So I play Skyrim all week and I get ahead. And then, all right, now I'm back to Outer Worlds. Okay, it's been a week since I've played. And then I play and everyone's like, dude, you just did that 5 minutes ago, without realizing it was actually a week. And that's why I seem to have forgotten it. And this is because most people don't play that way. So... You mean like shooting your gun when you don't want to? Actually, usually that's just my finger clicking on the mouse because I move the mouse a little bit and I've got my hand in the wrong position. So I got my hand in the wrong position, I move the mouse and I accidentally click the button. And a big part of the reason for that actually is I can't see my mouse hand. So if I take my hand off my mouse and reach forward to my Stream Deck and press one of the buttons to adjust something, and then I put my hand back on the mouse, I've got to do it by feel. Because I can't see it, because there's actually a microphone in the way. The microphone is between me and my mouse hand. So if I do that, if I go over to the Stream Deck and I press something, like, you know, one of the technical things I'm doing, and then I have to move my hand back, or I do move my hand back, but I didn't quite move it where I wanted, and then I move, I'll click things. So there's all sorts of weird things going on in the background that you guys can't see. And sometimes I'm just... like, I've got my hand on the wrong place in my mouse. So, yeah. Trigger discipline, yeah. Well, you know, that's what I blame it on. I blame it on trigger discipline, right? Sometimes it is, though. Sometimes it is a lack of trigger discipline. My mouse, my finger just presses down, even though I didn't tell it to. My finger just goes, "You're gonna shoot that gun." Yes, you are. You're gonna shoot that gun. Oh. Skyrim is fun, but the fights in areas get a bit monotonous. Skyrim combat's never fun anyway, really, so... So, yeah. So, there's a little side of me thinking being able to focus on one game at once and not having to play so far ahead. Now, I am playing a little further ahead in, say, the Outer Worlds, because I do want to avoid a lot of the, what I would consider minor spoilers. But, like, for example... I'd like to be able to engage with the comments. So if I'm just playing Outer Worlds now, maybe I can just start recording what I need, posting it, answering the comments. This is especially true in the Skyrim one. Give you an idea of how far I am ahead in Skyrim. I'm in the middle of chapter 6. Let that sink in. Because of the way I've been doing this, I've gotten so far ahead in Skyrim so that I had a buffer so that I could, because of what I was planning on doing was having the Outer Worlds running at the same time as Skyrim. So I needed to get ahead of Skyrim as well. I'm halfway through chapter 6. So it gets a bit weird. Whoa! Moobot just went mental. You think I actually made combat fun by doing a poison sneak playthrough? Yeah, I mean, I wanted to make combat completely different with Leonard. So yeah. How many episodes are those? Well, well, I'm not going to tell you how many episodes this chapter is, chapter 5. But you know, I can't even tell you if I'm halfway through chapter 6. I can't tell you that because I don't know when the end of the chapter is going to be. I know what the end will be. I'm a little shaky on the stuff I'm doing for chapter 6 for reasons that may become apparent only about halfway through the chapter. But it's like, I can't quite remember how long that's going to take. And this happens a lot in Skyrim. I'll think to myself, I'm going to do a chapter about this, and then I'll start remembering things as I start to play and think, oh, this is going to go faster, or this is going to go slower, or oh, this is not going to go the way I thought it was going to go. So it's going to be one of those things. Okay, I'm getting a lot of... Yeah, Moobot's going a bit bonkers right now. Don't put dots in your messages, guys. The bot can't tell the difference between a patch like 1.0.0 and a link. Ah. How many hours a day do you spend playing? Not that much, really. That's, yeah, wrap up time. Yes, definitely wrap up time, guys. So yeah, no, not that much time actually. I mean, you know, a couple of hours a day maybe. Depends on the day as well. So, I'm not totally sure how much of this is actually going to get put in the final VOD, because this one's been a lot rambling. We've had a lot less news. Not that this doesn't always have to be news. It's not actually a news podcast. It's a podcast where I answer random questions as well. I mean, and do the occasional rant, but some of this is probably just mindlessly boring for people who weren't here. Rambling is good. Ramblecast. Yeah. Yeah, I probably should never have even hinted at the idea that it's news. It's more me reacting to the news than anything. So, Payday 3 better be good too. Really, Quorico? You just said, time to wrap up. Time to finish, you said, and now you bring up Payday 3. I mean, really? Really? You got excited. However, as much as I want to talk about Payday 3 now, I'm afraid we got to end it, because that's how this works. That's how this works, guys. The hour's up. I'm very sorry. Thank you for joining me for episode 3 of Gopher Rambles almost incoherently for an hour. I will see you next Thursday if you care to join me. Good night and thank you.